Hi, I'm Scott Garibay, and this is
Logan Garibay.
my son. I'm very proud of him. So what we're going to talk about today is two paths for voting. One that I think you should do, and one that Logan thinks you should do. Specifically, that you should consider, right? So one of the things we want to talk about is we want to share with you good paths for voting, right? And it's interesting because I don't want to tell somebody how to vote. I do want to tell them one thing. Don't not vote. That's the only way you can fail in voting, is to not vote, okay? But whether you vote for the current president or whether you vote for the Democrat nominee, I have a lot of respect for you because you're engaging in the political process. I think it's really critical. We have a path. We each have an optimum path. I'm going to share my optimum path with you, and Logan's going to share his optimum path with you. But before we even get into that, I just want to say how proud I am of you recently. You've been very politically engaged in reading and learning. You've even and I think it's a challenging time right now, and politics can be discouraging, but I think you've done a really good job of trying to engage with politics overall. So let's jump right in. Optimum voting path that I want to present to you for consideration and ask you to consider it for when you vote in November. Write-in is right on. Okay, now what do I mean by that? You should do a write-in, and the reason why is when you vote for president, you should vote for somebody who's worthy and somebody who's capable. Donald Trump is not worthy of the presidency. The reason why is he utterly disrespects the role of the U.S. presidency. We as Americans need the role of U.S. presidency to be respected and to be preserved. I feel like Donald Trump is cracking at the foundation of the U.S. presidency, the role of U.S. presidency, every single day. That is a fundamental disrespect to every American. I don't think he's worthy of being president. Joe Biden, he is a diligent. He has been a diligent political servant of the United States of America. He has served for decades as a politician. He is clearly no longer capable of serving as a politician at the national level. I'm not even sure at the local level for America. And the reason why is he is 77 years old, and we don't need to wonder if Joe Biden is capable of being president, because everybody is wondering right now if Joe Biden can finish a single friendly interview without alienating a significant portion of his base. He has fundamentally lost the ability to communicate effectively in interviews. He can't even handle friendly interviews. There's certainly no way he's going to be able to handle a job like the U.S. presidency. None. So Donald Trump is not worthy. Joe Biden is not capable. That means you should do a write-in. What is a write-in? So a write-in is you're going to write in who you think should be president. I'm going to write in Andrew Yang, okay? Because he's worthy and he's capable, right? And you should do a write-in. Write-in is right on. You should do a write-in so that you say to the Democrat Party, we will not take these horrible candidates you continue to serve us. If you vote for Biden, you are telling the Democrats, you served me up a terrible candidate that nobody likes, and guess what? I'm going to vote for him, and whatever crap candidate you bring us 4 years from now, we'll vote for him too, because I'll be jammed to the wall and I'll be trapped. I'm not trapped. You're not trapped. And if we're going to fix this nation, we need to start voting for people who are worthy and capable. And there are none on the ballot, which means you need to do a write-in. Write-in is right on. Logan thinks differently. Logan, what do you think is the optimum path for voting?
So my optimum path is go for Joe. Yeah. But so what I mean by that is, yes, I do think that these two candidates aren't that optimal. We definitely could have had some better ones, like you said, like Andrew Yang, Cory Booker, a lot of other people that could have been a little bit better, in my opinion. But I do think if you're a Democrat or you believe in Democrat issues, I definitely think you should vote for Joe Biden and not do write-in. I believe, like my dad said, voting just in general is good. Not voting is useless. It's just terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Even a write-in, I feel like you're actively going into the process instead of just giving up and saying, I don't want to do that. It doesn't take that much time. I feel like it's very important for our democracy and for these people to just say, I don't want to do it. I feel like that's a little bit lazy and a little bit discourageous, in my opinion.
Can I ask you a couple questions about your support of Biden as a candidate? So my understanding of Biden's proposals, the biggest thing that he's putting out forward right now, that his campaign has put forward, is Build Back Better. And it's this concept that he would put a lot of government money into building America back, fixing the infrastructure, but specifically with a really strong green message, where it would be, where it would support like wind and all these like crunchy hummus type energy supplies. So that's one. The other thing is, almost certainly, he will give more money to people who need help. He will make the health care much more affordable for poor people, and I think he will also do a lot to. He said this. He said he's going to make health care much more like Obamacare, so that poor people can access it more. He also said that he is going to support universal pre-K and give huge tax benefits to organizations that build like preschools on site for jobs. And then I think overall he'll put in the Democrat playbook, right? Like, just higher taxes, but more goods and services to poor people. So one, do you think that accurately captures what Biden is doing? And if so, what are you most excited about within his policies?
Yeah. So, yes, I do believe that is true. That's what he's aiming for.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm really excited about is Trump has actively teared down a lot of climate change policies.
It's true. I forgot. He will absolutely, Joe Biden, without a doubt, is saying that he intends to get rid of civil strife in our nation that's been caused by divisions over race.
Yes.
And I mean, it's hard to say that he wouldn't do a much better job than Trump. So you were saying, so Trump has torn down environmental things that Obama accomplished. Go right ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so a lot of the policies that were already in for climate change, Trump actually teared down instead of actually putting them back up, which a lot of people disagreed with. It's something that I disagree with, and I think that Joe needs to do it now, because if we just keep going on this trend of just shoving it off for later, and even just tearing it down and not caring about it, that's not how we're going to get this done. We need to do something about it. If we just... Trump didn't ignore it. He tore it down.
He did.
That's really bad.
He undid what Obama did.
I think now is the time to focus on it.
So if you are a Biden fan, Logan is pointing out that if Obama comes in, if Biden comes in, he will help restore some of those Obama-era climate change things that Obama put in, and help get us back on a track where there is more climate activism and climate, and trying to keep climate change down.
One thing that I thought was pretty interesting is that switching to all these alternative energy sources and all that will require jobs. So that's another big benefit to this whole change.
And his policy does have that in it. He's saying, we're going to go green, and I'm going to make jobs having the country go green.
Yeah.
I definitely understand that. So I'm saying, hey, do right in because it's right on. Logan is saying,
go for Joe.
Yeah. But the biggest thing I think both of us would encourage you is get out there and vote.
Yeah.
We would much rather you vote for our opponent, the person we don't think should be elected, than not vote.
Yeah.
Your voice needs to be heard. Also, we'd love to know what you think is the best path. Both of us have really struggled with what's coming up in November. Logan won't be able to vote yet, but he has been very dialed in because he understands that his future is on the line. And so, and I've been really proud about how much you've been reading and just staying engaged with all this, even though it's challenging. I think for both of us, it's challenging to follow politics sometimes. Thank you for letting us share this with you. Let us know what you think would be a good idea, what you think is the most optimal path for voting. Let us know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.